Alright guys, we're going to do the beginning and end of a bed here. I'm going to have to do this in pieces, so I don't know how long it'll take me to get it posted. But this is my potato bed. And this is after a year of overgrowth and weeds and crap. Really no substitute for just getting down and hand picking them. I started, a little knee pad, hands and knees, get down. Remember, this is the before, this is the after. Alright, once we get the whole bed cleaned up, then we will go ahead and do a first pass at the tilling. We'll add some compost and some peat moss, and we'll till again, and you'll see me fertilize, and we'll get the seed potato stuff in there. Alright, I'll be back. Alright guys, we're back. We have completely weeded all the way to the end there by hand, and now it's time to fire up the man's tiller there and turn this stuff over and dig down. This was a bed I used 2 years ago. I didn't use it last year. So it's got a lot of stuff breaking down in it for a long time. It should do really well. And I'll fire up the tiller, get it turned over, and see what we're working with. Be back. Alright guys, that's it. It's completely de-weeded, cleared out. Got the tiller down in here and worked this thing down. This soil is loose, probably down a good 8 to 10 inches. Maybe a little deeper. You know, this little thing, man, you know, I used to borrow my father-in-law's big, you know, old Craftsman, you know, 4-tine things you had to put in the back of a pickup or in the back of the van to get up here. You know, this thing weighs nothing. You know, it's a little plastic handle, move it around real easy. The handles actually fold and break down. It can slide underneath the table. You know, I sit it in the back of the car all the time. And it does a better job than that big monster ever did. It's real fast, and I guess this area here took me, I did 3 good passes where I worked the whole area over 3 times, and I might have spent a half hour, you know, 30 minutes maybe. But, you know, you guys remember what the weeds and stuff looked like before we turned this stuff over. Look at this now. I mean, this stuff is cool, it's soft, it hasn't been watered yet, there's no moisture added to it. But this stuff, you know, and I can dig down pretty deep with just with my hands, no tools. This is great, even, soft, loamy stuff. And I'm going to add some compost, and I'm going to add a little peat moss to keep the air circulating through it well. And work that in, then I'll work in some fertilizer, and we'll be back. All right. First layer down is the peat moss, and we're gonna blend that in real good. Now I'm gonna throw some compost down. Man, look at that black organic goodness, buddy. That is leaves and crap broken down. That's definitely some manure. That's been sitting all season. I think I showed you the first video when I pulled this stuff out a while ago. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Finish working this. Alright guys, Wood Prairie Farms organic potato fertilizer. It's from up in Maine. This is the place I get all my seed potato from, and they've been good to us so far. So I'm going to open up this bag, work it into the bed here now that's got compost and peat moss in it. We're going to do a good portion of this bed, give it a nice fertilizing before I dig my furrows and get the seed potato in. Alright, so let's do that. Just every stage that I work it in, this stuff just gets better and better, man. I'm working it over with the hoe now. I'm telling you. Look at that. Just sink your feet down into this stuff. Yeah, I know I'm a little weird about that, but you know, good dirt is a gift from God, man, and this stuff right here is heaven sent. So that's got my homemade compost in it, some composted manure, some broken down leaves, got some good peat moss in it. This is a bed that's been given a rest for over a year, so nothing grew in this last season, and it was worked over pretty good back then. This is about as good as soil gets. This may be some of the best dirt I got around my house, so you guys got to excuse me, pardon me, for if I enjoy it for a little bit before I get it all planted up and can't mess with it anymore. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we've prepared the ground here. What I'm gonna do is, this is my potato patch. I've dug my 2 trenches. There's enough dirt to pull down on the sides and do some hilling as they grow up. I left myself a good pile here at the end to cover up some more even after the hills go flat. So that's all been properly fertilized and conditioned, and that's going to go well. And then this front patch here, it gets a lot of sunlight. Next weekend I'm going to put a piece of lattice up here to kind of give some shade to that seating area, but also for another row of cucumbers to kind of grow up. The second row is where I'm going to try my first shot at some determinate, some bush tomatoes. They're called Legend. A buddy of mine gave me some seeds a little earlier this year, so I'm going to try those there. And I'm going to drop 3 more collard green plants over on this side. We tend to eat a lot of them, and what I've got over on the other side in the boxes really isn't enough, so we'll see what 3 more plants can do. First thing we want to do with these trenches, back to our trusty potato fertilizer here, is, you know, I want to put a nice additional, you know, dosage in the trench itself. All right, we'll save the rest of that for across the way. And here are my 2 different types of potatoes. I have a Yukon Gold. I've counted out what I'm putting on this side over here, and some Prairie Blush, which are going on this side. I chitted these a long time ago. As you can tell, we got really good growth on these pieces. So we'll drop the Rose Blush in first. What I want to do is get them in here. I'll come back and straighten those out. Proper distance apart. Let's grab a few more. Alright, and throw that one in. Throw that one. You guys can get down here with me. And the thing is, you know, you're supposed to have them a foot apart. Every year, I kind of push them closer and closer together to see what I can get away with. And as long as they're sprout up, you can actually run these pretty close together. And let's see what we got here. I'm going to continue to do the rest of this trench here, and I'll do the one behind it with the Prairie Blush, and then we'll come back. All right? All right, guys. We're done. Everything has been trenched out, planted, watered, covered back up, watered in really well. Here, these 3 rows, is where we have the cucumbers, the collards, and the Legend tomatoes. And you know, every little patch you can find like this around the house or in another spot helps. Makes your garden that much bigger. I'm actually pretty proud of this. Hopefully we'll have some taters and maters and cukes and all sorts of other goodies. Alright, guys. Another beautiful day in Maryland. Talk to you soon.